Saudi Arabia is making a play to try to nab the Vasyl Lomachenko versus Teofimo Lopez unification. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also, subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the super chats, channel donations, the Venmo donations, the Cash App, and the Patreon family. We working. Sign up for ESPN Plus below using my link. It definitely helps the channel, and I appreciate you guys. Happy New Year. Bob Arum, I'm going to get with his quotes, and then I will give you my opinion. He says, Lomachenko is fighting Teofimo Lopez. That part is done. Now, the question is the site of the fight. We have Madison Square Garden bidding against the Barclays in Brooklyn, and we are also getting a bid from Saudi Arabia to do that fight. It will be in April, or worst case scenario, it would be in May if it went to Saudi Arabia, because it would have to be after Ramadan, which ends late May. He says, Bob Arum goes on and says, Lomachenko has all these young guys that want to face him. The Lopez fight is a hell of a fight. And he says Lopez thinks he's ready for Lomachenko. Lopez is the kind of fighter that really surprises everyone. I was shocked with the Comey fight. I thought it was a long, difficult fight. Boom. My thoughts. I agree. It's a hell of a fight. Great fight. Excellent fight. I'm happy that there, no qualms, quarrels, or any beef getting the fight made at least that part. I love it. I love everything about the fight. I've been wanting to see Lomachenko in with that type of test, because you got to look at it. Lomachenko is a good fighter, two-time gold medalist. They don't just hand those out. But for me, I feel like timing, clever matchmaking has definitely played a part in Lomachenko's career. He has less than 20 fights, so we only have a select few quantity of fights to have even seen him. And he stayed an amateur for 8 years, the Olympics once every 4 years or whatnot. So he stayed an amateur over 8 years. So he came into the game not 19 years old, 20, 21 years old, like some of these guys, but he was in his mid 20s, and that changes things when he has so few fights to select. So for that reason, since he was already older and had a lot of amateur experience and a lot of amateur victories and whatnot, they moved him pretty fast. But still, like at the point where he fought Gary Russell hadn't really fought anyone. We later seen what Gary Russell was like made of, but Gary Russell didn't have like he wasn't a champion. He didn't have crazy experience as a pro, and that's probably his best win to this day. Guys like Jorge Linares, he's cool. He can box, beautiful combinations when he's throwing, but he also has a kryptonite, which is pressure fighters, volume guys who win the war of attrition, the battle of attrition, and you oftentimes see him collapse under that type of duress and when he's under siege. And that's what happened kind of in the Lomachenko fight, because he lost at a point where he was arguably the winning, or at least the ebb and flow was going towards his side, and the same thing with the DeMarco fight. It's just people who can outlast him and outwheel him. That's always been his problem, kryptonite. So Teofimo, he's a different animal, because he's not a mindless brawler, yet he has power. He's a boxer puncher, and boxing is actually first. He's not like a Ruslan Provodnikov, where if you get past the power element and you can nullify that, then he doesn't really have many other tricks. He's not a one-trick pony in that. He has great experience, sparred with Devin Haney's of the world and Ugas, people I rate. I was actually at the airport, and Ugas was right in front of me in line. Coming back from Ontario, I think it was. He was at the Charlo fight when I was flying home. But that is just good experience. And then now he's riding high off the wave of Richard Comey. As Bob Arum just said, he thought it was going to be a tough fight. But surprisingly, Teofimo, he landed quicker. They traded hooks, and he caught Comey almost with the same punch that Robert Easter caught him with in the 12th that dropped him, and he crumbled him with the right hand, and he had hurt him seconds before, a couple moments before he actually dropped him hardcore, so Teofimo has power in both hands. He has youth on his side. He's big frame. You know, he's already talked about staying at 35 to make some statements and then moving to 140. It's just an overall great fight. Now, my opinions on the fight happening in Saudi Arabia. Nothing against Saudi Arabia, but I don't prefer that. I think this is absolutely two guys that are known in America, and I think it would be bigger here in America. You know, it was a little bit like I'm looking at the Joshua Ruiz 2 fight, obviously, because it took place in Riyadh. And that particular fight is just like you don't see some of the same faces that you see covering the fights throughout America, you know, and that would alienate certain, you know, just media, because not everyone's going to go all the way out to Saudi Arabia for a fight like that. I understand they have a lot of investors and they definitely got money. I just seen Lil Wayne had a happy New Year message, and he was talking about how he had an inconvenience leaving Saudi Arabia. So one of the royal people met up with him and apologized for the inconvenience and gifted him a Frank Mueller watch, which is, you know, very expensive and worth a lot of money. And they also promised him a Lamborghini for the inconvenience. So that's a hell of a way to keep the celebrity happy or whatever. So I know there's money out there, but I just prefer this fight. However, I did hear that Lomachenko, I don't know if there's any truth to this. You know, I didn't bother to do the footwork and research it, but some people were suggesting that Lomachenko wasn't willing to fight Teofimo in New York because Teofimo's from New York, and, you know, he has more belts and established name, and I guess he didn't want the fight in New York. I don't know. I'm not putting this on Lomachenko. I'm just saying this is one of the rumors floating around boxing. But again, don't hold me to it, because I don't know if it's true. I don't really care, because ultimately we're going to find out when it's announced. But that's what I had heard, that he didn't want to fight New York for whatever reason. You know, maybe not to give Teofimo any type of advantage. So I don't know, because Bob Arum just said Barclays, Saudi Arabia, or Madison Square Garden. He didn't mention Vegas or anything else. So we'll have to figure out the location. But I'm glad that the guys have agreed in principle to the deal. It's an awesome fight. I'll enjoy covering up, leading up to the fight and everything. And it's just a good fight. This is a type of fight where if Lomachenko can prove that he could beat Teofimo, then that's a great win for him, because he's older than Teofimo. He has a lot of veteran experience. He has 2 gold medals, and it's just a young, hungry, brand new champion who wants to prove something with power, with ability, with amateur experience. And then obviously the same goes for Teofimo. If he could beat Lomachenko, they're saying Lomachenko's #1 pound for pound. I don't agree with that, but that's what some people believe. He's definitely a good fighter and a 2-time gold medalist. Rigondeaux couldn't beat him, you know, and Nicholas Walters and other guys. So it would be a huge statement for Teofimo if he can win, especially if he were to able to win impressively. I think it's just all around a good fight. I think this has been building for a while. ESPN, Top Rank, they got themselves one. You know, this is a very good in-house fight, and it's been building for a while. They've been kind of telling the backstory. Teofimo and his pops have been calling out Lomachenko, and now we're going to get to it. So I'm glad that Bob Arum is suggesting that the fight is already agreed upon, and when you have multiple people bidding for it, that just shows you that you have a good fight. So me personally, I don't want to see it in Saudi Arabia. I think keeping it in the States makes more sense for a variety of reasons. But if it goes to Saudi Arabia, I'm just happy to see it in general. So, you know, if it happens to go out there, I'm just happy we're getting it. Getting it is more, that's my thing. Getting it is more important than not seeing it. Like if it has to happen in Saudi Arabia and that's where the money is at, then go see that. I'd rather happen. I don't care where it happens ultimately if it comes to location being the deal breaker. You get what I'm saying? Let me know what you guys think. Great fight. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. I am really looking forward to this one. Teofimo, there's some questions about him. Me, I still have questions about Lomachenko, who they've billed him as, and versus his performances. His performances have definitely been harder at lightweight. He doesn't look like this matrix and unfadable, untouchable. He got hurt by Luke Campbell. He got buzzed by Linares and dropped by Linares. He couldn't stop Pedraza, who Tank stopped, you know, in a lighter division. And, you know, I want to see how he it's just a good fight stylistically. I want to see how he keeps Teofimo off him. Let me know what you guys think. If you love what I'm doing, smash the like button. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video, it's Ego signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button. And you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.